Great AFL players often develop a go-to move, something that gives them an advantage and that's really hard to defend. Some moves, however, are more recognisable than others. These are the top 10 signature moves in AFL history. After 16 seasons in the AFL, Joel Selwood went down as arguably Geelong's greatest ever captain when he retired after the Cats' 2022 Grand Final win. But aside from his thousands of hard-fought disposals in the midfield, he's infamously known for the Selwood shrug. It's a move where he lifts his arm as soon as he's tackled, forcing the tackle to slip from his arm to his neck, thereby drawing a free kick for high contact. 2013 was Selwood's best year with the tactic, drawing 73 free kicks that season, the most in the modern era. In 2018, Alistair Clarkson called for the AFL to crack down on shrugging to help players avoid concussions, but his wish was not granted, and Selwood continued to do the move for the next 4 years. Steve Johnson invented the set shot snap in the early 2000s. While most players would walk back and line up for a simple drop punt, Stevie J just had to make things harder for himself and invite lots of pressure from nearby defenders. But 516 goals and a career-high 7-goal performance showed that it didn't matter. He was still a goal-scoring machine. This move has become increasingly popular in recent times. Cam Rayner lost an easily winnable game against North in 2018 thanks to the move. In 2013, after Jimmy Bartell and Harry Taylor both missed gettable game winners in a narrow 2-point loss to Adelaide, critics pounced on Johnson. But he maintained that as long as the move had been practiced, he had no doubt the goal ratio would be higher if that's what the player's most comfortable with. Anytime Dustin Fletcher charged towards half forward during his 23-year playing time, all Essendon fans knew that he was going to wind up and unleash a 60-metre barrel for goal. They'd all begin yelling at him, demanding that he take a ping at the big sticks. A lot of the time, his attempts would miss terribly, but there were a surprising number of times that he would get onto one, leaving the crowd in disbelief. Fletcher's 75-metre bomb against St Kilda in 2007, at the somewhat old age of 32, was the best of these by far. Although, you could argue that Malcolm Blight owns this signature move, considering his was to win after the siren and turned out to be the greatest goal in AFL history. No player has taken more shots at goal in the last 2 decades than Lance Franklin. After 354 games and 1,000 goals, it was his style of kicking that always amazed fans the most. And back in 2010, it became a topic of heated discussion. Opposition players would regularly stand to Franklin's left, wait for a play on call from the umpire, and then run at him in an attempt to disrupt his kick. After some time, the AFL's umpiring department gave Buddy's arc the all clear, and so it would not be called play on from now on. However, the one huge downside of Buddy's kicking style was that although he was always great from long range, he couldn't buy a goal from 20 to 30 metres out. When Dustin Martin came into the league as a highly talented 19-year-old in 2010, he quickly made the stiff arm fend-off his signature move. Adelaide Crows Hall of Famer Mark Rasciuto was the first to do it in the early 90s, but Dusty really popularised it. During Richmond's premiership year in 2017, it seemed to be the 3-time Norm Smith medalist's go-to move, every time he got the ball. It was originally thought that Martin learned to fend while playing rugby as a junior, but in 2011 he denied this, saying that the fend-off only became a part of his game after he was drafted. Considering the fact that only a handful of players have caught Dusty holding the ball at all, it's no surprise the move was nearly impossible to counter. Imagine having a signature move so recognisable that because of it, you own part of any AFL ground out there. That's the case with Eddie Betts and his pocket. 2014 was Betts' first year at the Crows after leaving Carlton. That same season, after converting a series of many difficult shots from the right forward pocket of Adelaide Oval, coach Brenton Sanderson called that area of the ground Eddie's pocket. The name quickly caught on with fans and commentators alike, and it stuck. Betts could kick a goal at the MCG from that position, and it would still be his pocket. Funnily enough, that was actually the same pocket that Eddie Betts kicked Goal of the Year from in 2006. Who could have known at the time that that would be far from his last time winning the award? In the early to late 2010s, Jeremy Howe absolutely dominated the marking scene. It seemed like he'd somehow earn himself a Mark of the Week nomination every single week. The play on words phrase, "How did he do that?" was very popular among commentators. Howe essentially made the specky, a move every player does, into his own signature move. The Collingwood key defender has taken over 1,400 marks across his 239 game career. His hang over Heath Grundy earned him the 2012 Mark of the Year, which is fair because it felt like he was up there for 5 seconds. Howe's huge leap onto the shoulders of Tom McDonald in the 2017 Queen's Birthday Clash was by far the best Mark of the Year, and when Joe Danaher won it instead, almost everyone agreed he was robbed. Brent Harvey was one of the game's great superstars, playing a monster 432 games, a record that will stand for some time. And even Boomer had a signature move. Because of his lightning quick speed, as soon as he grabbed the footy, Harvey would sprint away from the pack, take at least a bounce, and then slot a goal on the run. It was very effective. Even though opposition players were expecting him to fake a handball or a pass, it was still too hard to defend. But there was one chase where Boomer met his match. Against Gold Coast in 2014, the former Roos captain marked near Sam Day, and instantly took off and running. Day fell for the fake pass to a teammate, breaking his ankles in the process, but redeemed himself with an incredibly speedy chase down the wing to somehow catch Harvey holding the ball. A rundown tackle on Boomer is a feat that not many can say they've accomplished. Did I miss any signature moves? Tell me in the comments, and subscribe.